Hey, I'm Rado. I help heads of growth and CMOs to cut through the noise of AI and find what actually works. Today, I'll show you the fastest way to launch your personal website. No weeks, no Webflow subscriptions. We cut yearly subscription costs down to zero. We'll turn your LinkedIn into a clean one-page site, hosted free, connected to a custom domain in under 30 minutes. All right, let's jump in. So it's a basic trick where we have to take your LinkedIn profile content, put it into and turn it into an AI prompt. We are going to get a website preview. We are going to load it into GitHub repository, connect it with Cloud Pages for free, and then publish your personal custom domain live. All right, so first step is going to be LinkedIn connection, transforming your LinkedIn content into a prompt. For that, we are going to need ChatGPT or Gemini 2.5 Pro and Claude or some other large language model. Then we are going to use Lovable to build your prototype, your preview of your website, which is the most important and critical step. And next, we are going to create a GitHub account and connect it to Cloudflare. And then at last, publish the website. All right, so why are we doing this? In my opinion, this process is important for everyone who is in digital marketing or basically works with internet. Even for like CEOs and people who are not that involved, I think that it is important to understand and go through that process because you finally start to understand that the way how you used to build and communicate with the world in internet is changing, and actually you can do it in a different way. And the best and the simplest way, the most efficient with the highest ROI, in my opinion, is to build your own personal website first, because often you already pay for that kind of subscription. If you don't, then you maybe considered that in the past, but you didn't want to do that because of some costs. And it's a simple economics. Basically, you pay for a subscription tool, which is $240, $300 a year. So you can make a move and basically build this website in under 60 minutes. Maybe you will like it, maybe not. Maybe you will have to work on it a little bit longer, but it's still a great ROI and also a great experience of vibe coding, which is a way how people try to build some mini apps or websites without knowing how to code and relying fully AI solutions to provide you with working prototype or solutions, basically code everything for you. So it's a hands-on and fast experience. So it's great to experience that because then you know better what to expect from your peers, from your colleagues at work, how they can use AI in your work, in your job. All right. So first, I'm going to have to use a seed prompt. I'm going to publish that as part of that video in the description. So it's a prompt that I can use. Now we go to the Google Gemini. We are going to load it first. Next, take the prompt that we are going to use to load all the LinkedIn content and maybe some few recent from your LinkedIn. Just copy the whole prompt here. One area that you can adjust is design detail. And in this instance, I chose basically, I want this website to be clean, black and white, minimalistic and elegant, monochrome, black background, white text, soft headline orders, scroll triggered fading. Some details like how you want that website to feel as part of the experience of people that will land on that website. Just if you're doing that for the first time, I recommend you just copying the content. So now what we need is the content from LinkedIn. So I got my LinkedIn, I just use Command A. Google Gemini has huge context window and we can just copy and paste quite a lot. Actually, first I recommend to do is to copy your about, especially if it's a bit longer. So first you have to open it up and then click Command A and Command C to copy the whole content. Next, I recommend to open up Show Your All Posts, scroll a little bit and just copy, just to give Gemini a bit more context about who you are, how you publish, how you speak online. Okay, and then we click go. As you can see, the prompt is already there. I just command you to copy. Now we go to Lovable.dev. We sign in with Google, GitHub if you already have an account. Okay, we just paste that text in, and the process has started. So now it's building a prototype for us based on that prompt. So I'm really curious how it's gonna look like. Let's wait for a few minutes. In the meantime, I recommend you to go to GitHub and sign up. Go with Google, the fastest. All right, link. Great. Okay, I've got the verification code on my Gmail account. I verify. Okay, and that's it. We already have the account. I already have it. Now we go back and we wait for the prototype to finish building. For Lovable to finish building. All right. It looks like it has finished. So let's wait for the preview to load. If it's not loading as it is right now, it's loading. So let's wait. Okay. Awesome. We've got it almost. It looks pretty cool. We just put that in a new tab. Okay, that's not me, but it's fine. I absolutely can change and I can upload my photo to be here. Okay, I don't do marketing. I build any machines. It doesn't matter. I can write prompts later and adjust, or like I can like click edit here. And in the free version, we have 5 credits for free to edit our page. So it is important, in my opinion, to write a list of things that we would like to change as the photo. We can upload also a photo here to be uploaded to the project. So we're not going to do that today, but I absolutely recommend you to spend a couple of more minutes here at this stage before you move forward. For now, let's assume that the website has been finished and I actually like it. It's awesome in my opinion. So for sure, things like that could be fixed. For the photo, a couple of details probably are exaggerated a little bit, but that's absolutely fine. Our goal is to go through the process. So now we click on this icon here, sync your project to GitHub. Since we've already signed up for GitHub, we can do it. So let's wait. Let's click on connect to the project. And as you can see here, I already have the GitHub connection. But if you don't, you just connect it. And I can maybe add one there. Okay, and you authorize to have a connection. Okay, so now, as you can see, this is my personal account and this is my company account. So right now, this Lovable has access to only my private GitHub. I click connect. And now we've got this link here, which is basically GitHub repository link. So everything that was just created a few minutes ago was sent to GitHub. GitHub is a place where web developers store their code files, and it's also about holding different versions of the same project in one place so that different developers could work on the same code and not overwrite each other's work. So that's basically a gold standard for all developers. So when you ask any agency or web development company to produce your product, they always have some kind of repository in the background, and you should always have access to that repository. All right, so because it's your code. All right, so the next step, since we already have that in GitHub, GitHub has a lot of connections, and the most important is a connection to places like Cloudflare or Vertical or Netlify, places where you can deploy your project. And what it means basically, it's a server where this code that you see in GitHub is copied to, the whole environment is created, and the website is logged. Okay, so let's log in to Cloud. We go to compute workers, and we select pages, import from existing Git repository. And now we click add account. As you can see, we authorize our Git repository so that we could have access. As you can see now, Funnel Force Prompt, that's the name of the project, was created here, and that's the same name that Lovable came up with. So we know that this is the project that we want to deploy. All right, now we go, and we have to answer a couple of questions regarding configuring build. We go back to Lovable, and if we don't know, always switch on chat version. We can copy the content and just we can ask what kind of framework preset it is. And it should understand that we are trying to deploy that to Cloudflare and we are looking for an answer. Sometimes, most of the time, is the same framework. It's plus React. Okay, so let's go. And now let's choose, let's find the one that was mentioned there. It's React So this is the one that we pick, and now we click save and deploy. And now we have to wait a couple of minutes because, as you can see, the environment is built. It has Cloud repository, and now it's building an application. And what often happens is that we encounter an error. As you can see, it has been quite fast to deploy that, but there was an error. So don't worry if there is an error. You can go back to Lovable and just ask him to code, switch off chat mode, and now write an error and deploying and wait for a couple of minutes for Lovable to fix it. So every change that Lovable does, it pushes a new version to GitHub. So now after pasting in the error that we got from Cloudflare, often it's the case that Lovable goes and fix the structure of our project itself. But sometimes it also asks us to take in some elements here and basically edit the project. So now we have to go back to the project. We go to settings, and as you can see, we've got build configuration. It's exactly like we go and we added that build comment as instructed by Lovable. Or it can be some other instruction. But basically what it does, it often asks you to edit the settings here, or it fixes Lovable and then it deploys a new version to GitHub, and then Cloudflare automatically picks it, and that's it. So now after we change the settings, we have to go and to deployment, and let's see if it's gonna work. All right, so it's still loading. Let's wait for the result. It's often the case that it fails multiple times. And then it's actually good to have some kind of other way to use Lovable beyond 5 credits. But I think that it's working, so we've succeeded. If it fails, I recommend you just to pay for 1 month, or maybe wait till the beginning of the next month to get another 5 free credits in Lovable. But we've succeeded. So it means that the page is live. So now, actually, if we click on that link here, we should be able to see that page live. So as you can see, it is live. We could ask Lovable to fix a couple of things. I recommend you to make a list of elements that you would like to fix. Okay, I've got that kind of list here. So if you go here, first 3 things that I would do is to embed Calendly instead of a Google form here. Another thing, I would change the photo above in here. Then what I would to do, I would have to attach my own personal photo. And then the third one would be to fix the schedule a strategy session to basically let's connect. And that's it. But I will not do it. Let's jump into the next phase, which is connecting. Basically, we have the website live, so it's a success. But now, as you can see, the domain is not that beautiful. The best idea would be to go to the WordPress pages, and you should see your page in here. You click on it. As you can see, it's a GitHub project name, and the website is under such a ugly address. But you can go to custom domain, and you can set up a custom domain. So that's what we are going to do now. And since we don't have a custom domain, so it's gonna be necessary to buy one. All right. So as you can see, we can always buy a domain here, Cloudflare. There's a registered domain section, and I just searched domain registration, and as you can see, there are domains that cost even less than $10 or even $5. As you can see here, some of the domains may not be that interesting, but anyway, I've already done it, so there is no reason for me to do it. You have to update your billing settings. The only thing that Cloudflare will charge you for is the domain at this stage. So since you usually don't have that much of traffic on your personal website, the domain that we've created in here is basically free. This is already published, and but it is recommended to find a custom domain. So I've already done it in the past, and my domain is arcmeta.eu. So that's the domain. You can also upload a video. As you can see, there is a big description of what I do, some of my podcasts, and so on. As you can see here, that's exactly that. I've embedded Calendly instead of Google Form. I also added an email and also a link to LinkedIn. And that's it. That's the fastest way to deploy your personal website. Thank you for your time. And I hope that you like it and that actually you were successful in deploying your personal website based on that instruction. Thanks, and hopefully see you. And in case you need some other challenges solved, please feel free to reach out to me and schedule a meeting. Thanks and bye.